The more I read about stuff and the more I see on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, I just really scratch my head and I'm like, really? That's what we're that's what we're doing. That's what Google is going with. So I wanted to take a look at the Pixel Fold. I wanted to take a look at the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, kind of see where they're going and really what they've taken from us of what we had on the Pixel Fold. And I've said this before, and it really is just absolutely confusing to me. I have no idea why. Of all the things, of all the problems that I personally had on the original Pixel Fold, and that people complained about, it was almost universally accepted that the hardware was absolutely phenomenal on the Pixel Fold. The aspect ratios were great. The outer display experience was great. The hinge was great. The feel was great. There was a thin fold. Of all the things that could have been an issue with the Pixel Fold, and there were plenty, hardware and design wasn't one of them. So what does Google do for the Pixel 9 Pro Fold? They just throw out. I don't understand. They just take all that and just throw the entire thing out. Let's do something completely different. But let's talk about what they did. Outer display, it's changed, okay? So you're not getting as we get an email from Google, you're not getting the 5.8-inch kind of fat boy display on the outside. It's a 6.2-inch display. It's going to be a taller aspect ratio. You're getting something similar to OnePlus Open. Not a bad thing, okay? Still a wider external display experience than you're going to get on your Galaxy Z Fold 6, okay? So that's something that a lot of people are looking for. The problem that I have is this, and this is not a commentary on the device itself. I'm going to get plenty of comments saying, "Hey, how could you bash it? The device isn't even out yet. Can we wait and see it?" No one's saying it's not. It could be a fantastic phone to use. It might be really good. If they give us good hardware and excellent software support and Gemini works well on it and the Tensor 4 is great, it could be a really great phone. No one's saying that. What I'm saying is that it's a completely different product. It doesn't seem like a successor to the Pixel Fold. It's this own thing. And it's all part of Google's normalization efforts to where they just want to kind of be normie. They just kind of want to go to the point where they're just like, they just want to have their one lineup release per year. They're going to have their kind of standardish designs that are going to be premium. They're going to pay you X amount. They're going to support them, and then they just go to bat against Samsung and Apple on the same footing with a different architecture and whatever, and they're going to take their chances. I don't necessarily like that strategy. They've done it before. It didn't work out well for them, but that seems to be the way they want to go, and that's kind of how we've gotten to this point where the Pixel 9 Pro Fold is going to be like almost every other Fold, when its one advantage coming to the marketplace, to me, with the Pixel Fold, was that it was different. Like, it was like that fat boy Oppo Find thing. There were so many things that could have leaned into with Google software-wise on the Pixel Fold that would have made it a distinct difference from the other foldables. You could offer better hardware, you could offer better cameras on those devices, but I think if you come to market with the same-ish feeling as the other ones, you're not going to do as well. So they're going taller, they're going a little narrower, but the other thing that I have that I think is odd, especially in comparison to this device, the original Pixel Fold, is when you open it up, it is going to be a gigantic 8-inch display. Significantly larger than anything else out there. You got the OnePlus Open, which is a pretty large canvas at 7.6 inches. 8 inches is going to be wider and taller than anything else hardware-wise, foldable-wise, that you've held in the United States. I know overseas they got these big 8.1 of the Vivo ones with those big, just open up to these gigantic displays. That's fine. This is going the completely other direction. So if you're somebody that's unhappy with the fact that your foldable is not big enough on the internal display, that's really why you pick up a Pixel 9 Pro Fold. But to me, it's odd to kind of completely just go to the other side of the spectrum with that device when you had a big fan base of. There were a lot of defenders of this Pixel Fold. There were a lot of people who loved it, and in part because of the outsized experience on the external display, where they felt like 90% of the time they were okay just using the external display. And then when they needed stuff, they could use the internal display. And yes, there were a lot of things this was nice for. Widescreen websites, seeing a lot of a spreadsheet, There was a lot of multitasking stuff you could do if we ever got app pairs on this device. There was ways you could split the screen. I just loved having the ability that if you're doing even just stayed multitasking, right? Just one app on either side, that you were really getting a full aspect ratio, full experience of both apps on either side of the device. So to get away from that, Google really has to be sure of what they're doing, and they are. And I mean, at least it appears to be. You know, they're kind of going to fake it till they make it with this new release schedule and everything else. It's going to have Tensor 4 alleviating a big problem here. It's going to have Gemini Nano on there. It's going to have a lot of the things that we complained about that the Pixel Fold didn't have. But the things that we didn't complain about on the Pixel Fold, they changed. And that, to me, is going to be interesting to see, but also a little disappointing. I didn't need another product that was just kind of the similar product. I don't need another foldable that's just a slight alteration on the Galaxy Z Fold 6. I don't need another foldable that's just a slight alteration on the OnePlus Open. I wanted something in the United States that was completely different, that really gave us something unique, that gave us the ability, if Google were willing to commit to it, of having a different software experience on either side. A Microsoft Surface Duo-esque software experience on either side, where you could wipe up apps individually, swipe them up and dismiss them individually, and then open another one. So many lost opportunities on the Pixel Fold, and that's the only thing that sticks in my head when I see the leaks for because it's an odd design, number one. You know, I don't know about that. You're going to have it's very OnePlus Open-esque with kind of the curves on the side of the display, and there's a lot of stuff going on there. It's a very odd design, I think, for a foldable. I think they could have went with the squared off. They're kind of taking their curved design language that they're going to have with the Pixel 9 series in general and bringing it to a fold that's really screams for kind of a more squared off design. So, that's an odd thing in and of itself. But to me, it annoys me. If you're a Pixel Fold user, you had the original one, you liked it, because there's plenty of people who did, and plenty of people are going to hang on to this. They're not going to upgrade to the new one. What are your thoughts on them just changing wholesale what your experience is going to be? And what were some of the highlights and strengths of the Pixel Fold that you don't see being continued and carried forward to the Pixel 9 Pro Fold? And there's a lot. And of all the things, I just really, such nice hardware, such a nice internal display ratio experience, and it was a lot to like here. And the things that bugged me about it were software things. I didn't like the fact that they put the crease here. I didn't like the fact that it didn't close 180 flat. That was bizarre to me because it just accentuated the crease. It was basically a canyon in the middle here. So there was a lot of things that I didn't like about the Pixel Fold, but one of them wasn't the hardware. It wasn't the external display experience. It wasn't all of that. So for Google to really just throw all that away, dismiss all of that, dismiss all the things that we liked about the Pixel Fold is a little disappointing. Not saying the Pixel 9 Pro Fold isn't going to be a great device in its own right, but don't confuse it for its successor, because it's not. It's really not. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-licious day.